You can see many stars in the sky during the night. But not when the sun comes out. Can you then say that there are no stars in the sky during the day? Man, because you do not see God in the days of your ignorance, do not say that God does not exist. A fisherman cast his net into the river and had a good catch. Some of the fish remained calm and still, with no intention of escaping the net. Others struggled and jumped but could not break free. But a few, one way or another, managed to escape the net. In the same way, in the world of men, they are of three classes. Those who are bound and never fight to free themselves, those who fight to be free, and those who have already attained freedom. A man who, having attained human birth, so difficult to obtain, does not seek to know God in this very life is born in vain. As a nail does not penetrate a stone but enters easily into the earth, so the words of saints have no effect on the minds of worldly people, but penetrate deeply into the hearts of believers. A wet matchstick will not light, no matter how much it is struck. On the other hand, a dry matchstick lights with the slightest friction. The heart of a true devotee is like a dry matchstick. Only the mention of the Lord's name ignites the fire of divine love in it. On the contrary, the worldly mind, soaked as it is with lust and attachment to riches, resists any affection. Like a wet matchstick, the fire of divine love does not ignite in it, even though the name of God is often mentioned. Just as a dirty mirror does not reflect the rays of the sun, so an impure heart, entangled in illusion, never perceives the glory of the Lord. But the pure heart sees God, and like a clean mirror, reflects the sun. Just as a boy or girl has no idea of conjugal pleasure, so a worldly man cannot comprehend the ecstasy of divine communion. Although the common man is constantly struck by the miseries and sufferings of life, it is not easy for him to resist temptation. Like the attraction to woman or gold. Even more so if it means directing himself only to God, the worldly man undoubtedly suffers greatly, but in a few days, he forgets how much sorrow he has endured. How many times he has been deceived. Despite this, he does not change. He is like a camel that is particularly attracted to thorny bushes, which he continues to eat even though they hurt his mouth. Flies sometimes land on the sweets in the confectionery, but if someone walks by with a garbage can, the flies leave the sweets and land on the filth. Worldly men are like flies. Sometimes they taste something of the sweetness of divine love, but their natural desire for filth pulls them back to the muck of the world. When a man finds himself in a valley, he sees the humble grass and the proud pine tree and exclaims, "How great is the tree! How small is the grass!" But upon climbing the mountain and looking from its highest peak, he sees that the grass and trees are like an indistinct green mass. Similarly, to the worldly eye, the difference between class and position is clear. One man is a king, and another a cobbler. One is a father, and another is a son, and so on. But when the divine vision opens, everything appears equal, and there is no difference at all between good and evil, high and low. The perfect man transcends good and evil, and calls upon only one person. The One, by its various names. Once, a saint, while crossing a crowded street, inadvertently stepped on the foot of an evil man. The man became enraged and beat the saint until he was unconscious. The disciples gave him every kind of attention to bring him back to consciousness. When they noticed the saint was regaining his senses, one of them asked, "Master, do you recognize who is caring for you now?" The saint replied, "Yes, it is the same one who beat me." The true saint sees no difference between a friend and an enemy. The company of saints and sages is one of the principal elements of spiritual progress. Just as the blacksmith keeps the fire in the hearth alive by blowing the bellows, so the mind must be kept pure and bright by the company of saints. The milk of the cow is spread throughout its body through its blood, but you will not get milk by milking the ears or horns. In the same way, God permeates the entire universe, but you will not see Him everywhere. He manifests Himself more easily in the sacred. Take a few minutes each day to seek God in secret, through meditation.